When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Good evening and welcome to the Kool-Aid Monster Cup Series, brought to you by ESBN and SRM. Tonight, the Warriors of the KMM NewGen Cup Series take on Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As we started our West Coast swing last week, Chris Pendell came out as our first two-time winner of the year. And this week, as we come into race 5 of the season, these drivers look to tangle this, what appears to be a very slippery track tonight at Las Vegas. With me tonight, as usual, is Joseph Lester. Joseph, how's this track been driving this week?
Well, I've run a couple of races here in A-Fixed, and it really is a handful to drive. You'll go in there, you'll be tight entry, you'll be good through center, and then all of a sudden it'll snap loose on exit, and it could be a long night for these guys.
Well, absolutely. We've had some slippery tracks so far this year as the drivers get used to this new car. You know, this car this year, these 1.5-mile tracks have a lot less downforce with the smaller spoiler and more horsepower. That's what the drivers wanted, and that's what the drivers are going to get this year. And you know, last week we saw 3, 4, and 5 wide racing at Auto Club Speedway. Probably won't get that wide here at Las Vegas, but certainly are going to see some exciting racing here. I'm sure the draft will come into play as well.
I think it really will. from what I've been seeing this week. We've been going 2-3 wide for the first 10-15 laps of the run. There's about a second of fall off, but after that you're consistently running about 31 2s and 3s. We'll have to see if that trend continues tonight, but I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be exciting as we have a large field tonight. 31 cars have showed up here for Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Certainly going to be exciting. We've seen some guys have some trouble in qualifying. As you can see, the 31 of Kevin Gibney just having some issues coming out of 4 on his qualifying lap there. So as these guys just try to get in a smooth lap to get a time on the board. Right now, Greg Wood sits atop the board with a 30-18. So we'll see if anybody that hasn't qualified yet has what it takes to knock him off the top.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Wood definitely put down a really fast lap. We'll have to see if that holds up. It's really a as we got Kyle Harbin in the 32 Chevrolet out there, and it looks like he's gonna go into turn 1, run that middle groove, arc it down to the bottom a little bit, try to use that seam to get a little bit of turn in the car. Come on down in 3 and 4. You really want to get it to the apron as soon as you can. We'll see if he can do that. It really looks like he can. I think this could be a really fast lap. That'll put him P9 on the board. Not bad. Good run for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the focus for these guys, I'd like to see these guys get in a good rhythm early and just get some green flag laps in. This track really tends to be a green flag track, so hopefully we'll get some good green flag runs in here tonight. And we'll get to see our favorites of the KMM NewGen Series take on this really fast and tight racetrack at Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's a really fun track. You can use all 3 lanes. That top's going to burn off the right front just a little bit more because you have to drive it in deeper to be able to carry the momentum. But let's go ahead and go through our starting lineup here.
Absolutely, as they are starting to grid up here. On the pole with a 30-18, Greg Wood in the 78 Camry. Starting second tonight in the 27 will be Jonathan Cogswell with a time of 30.25. Starting third will be Todd Cleek in the number 4 Ford Mustang with a 30.27. Starting in fourth, James McCanney with a 32.83. Starting in fifth, Zachary Woods in the 60 Camry. And starting sixth on the outside, David Lorfano in that number 8. Starting seventh in the 21, Alfred Denny. And starting 8th tonight, Nathan Estep in the 55 Toyota Camry. As we saw just a moment ago in the 32, Kyle Harbin will start 9th. And last week's pole sitter, John McIntyre, will start 10th.
11th will be John Garrett in the 66 Chevrolet. 12th, after a great run last week, a little bit of mishap late in the race, the 97 of Nolan Ponchbriand. 13th, David Modesbaugh. 14th, George Cavett. 15th, Josh Anderson in that blue oval. 16th, George Jewell in the 07. 17th, Sid Butler. 18th, Andrew Huntley. 19th, Hurley. 19th, Ron Morris Jr. And 20th, Nathan Luck.
And starting 21st, we'll have Bill Sleep in the 62. Starting on the 22nd, we'll have Josh Pontbriand in the 96. In 23rd, we'll have the 11 of Zachary Cleek. Starting 24th, Stephen Harper in the number 5. In 25th, we have Steve Rada in the number 3. And in last week's winner, starting 26th, Chris Pendell, looking to get his 3rd win of the season tonight. Starting 27th will be Angel Santiago in the 90. In the 31 tonight is Kevin Gibney Jr. Starting 28th. Starting 29th will be James Santoyo in the number 9. Starting 30th will be David Mayo in the 08. And 31st will be Tyler Robinson in the 24.
Yeah, a really good field here tonight, and I'm excited to see what they have in store for us. Greg Wood has to be one of the favorites. He's been right up there every week. Just hasn't been able to get it done quite yet. Chris Pendell always sort of starting in the back, working his way through the field, and he has 2 wins, so there has to be something to it.
I really think that everybody needs to keep their eye on that 27, though, this week, Joseph, of Jonathan Cogswell. He had a great run last week, finishing second or third, I believe, and really strong run for him. Look to him to be up front tonight, and I think he'll be there at the end.
Yeah, that's a good prediction. Gonna be interesting to see. We're about to go green flag, and that pace car is turning left, that hard left down into pit road. Greg Wood holding. Green flag is in the air here at Las Vegas.
And already we have cars 3 wide back in the pack as Mcintyre takes that 2. And he'll fall back in line. I think he got a little bit of an early jump. Not sure if somebody checked up or what happened there. Looks like he's falling back in line. But 78 of Greg Wood taking off. Jonathan Cogswell right there on his bumper as to go into turn 3 on lap 1.
Yeah, what an amazing battle it is up front. Jonathan Cogswell hounding the bumper of the 78 of Greg Wood. Will he be able to get by him? It's been really hard to pass here this week after those tires get worn in. So if you're going to make a pass, you got to do it soon.
I think he's sort of riding. I think he wants to get these tires seated in. They need to get some heat in them. And it looks like the guys are, getting pretty single file about it already. So maybe some lessons learned from last week, trying to get some laps on these tires as Jonathan Cogswell looks to the inside of Greg Wood.
Jonathan Cogswell look, but Greg Wood shut the door. Jonathan Cogswell has to figure out a way to get around that purple 78. Can he do it? They are 3 wide behind. Wow.
James McCanny got down on the apron there. Got a little out of shape. That sort of slowed the field down. I think everybody saved it. I think everybody's moving again. But here comes Nathan Estep in that 55 Ford Mustang.
Nathan Estep always strong in the short run. Can he be able to hold on the long run this week? We'll have to see, because this track is a little bit tighter than the weeks previous. We'll just have to see, but here we go.
Absolutely. And here comes Dave Lorfano, another one of these are our fast cars week in and week out. David typically is one of our long run cars, but it looks like he's got some short run speed tonight, Joseph. So I'm going to keep an eye on that 8 Chevy tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely a good observation, and I'm definitely looking to see him move to the front really quick. Greg Wood continues to lead in the 78. Second, we got David Lorfano. Third, Nathan Estep.
Yep, and falling back to 4th is Jonathan Cogswell. And then 5th is the 20 of James McCanny. He's gotten it straightened out, and he's catching back up to this lead pack. So as we sort of fade back in the pack a little bit, there we see the 07 of George Jewell, the 2 of Mcintyre, and the 60 is... We have a spin. Those guys barely got through that one.
It doesn't look like we'll get a caution there for that wreck. Should be interesting to see as we go on. iRacing hasn't been throwing the cautions as much this week, so I don't know. Could this be one of those nights where we don't see that many cautions?
And it very well could be. It looks like the track will stay green, so... And already coming to the front, up to 12th, last week's winner, 2-time winner this season already, Chris Pendell. He's putting the move on John Garrett. Looks like John Garrett's already got a little damage to the rear end there, so maybe something happened on the restart or on the start of the race. I'm not sure, but that certainly looks like it may be affecting the handling on that 66 Chevy.
Now we're starting to look up front. Nathan Estep already starting to fall back. But David Lorfano is moving in on our leader, Greg Wood. That top line's going to be the place to be on the long run. if he can get up there before the leader of Greg Wood, he might be able to make a move for the lead.
And here comes Jonathan Cogswell looking on the inside there, trying to make a move on David Lorfano for second.
Now our stages are at lap 42 and 84, and then they'll go green the rest of the way to 134, so we'll have a 50-lap final stage. Should be interesting to see there, and with how little cautions we've seen in the first 10 laps, it's fixing to be a long-run race.
I think it's absolutely right. And like I said just a few minutes ago, watch that number 8 Chevy there. He is awfully fast on the long run. As you can see, he's already right in on that bumper of the 78 of Greg Wood.
Yeah, he has really been running fast lap times here. I'm interested to see how he will be able to continue this speed, and will it actually be a long-run car, or will he be one of those guys that are up front at the short run, then around 25-30 that he starts falling back?
No, he's got that lucky dog detail in Chevrolet up there, and he's really running. Doesn't look. I mean, he's not pushing it. You know, he does get some runs, but if, you know, unless he's getting a great run, he's not pushing the issue. So looks like everybody is minding their P's and Q's, and looks like these guys are settling in for some green flag runs tonight here at Las Vegas.
One thing I'm noticing is these guys aren't able to get to the bottom that well. This fixed setup has been really tight throughout the whole week. You really got to get it to that bottom to get max speed. You want to paint the apron on, and then if you can't do that, you want to be right up against the wall, almost scraping it with your right rear.
So just looking through the field here, it looks like, you know, everybody, you've got some running the bottom, you've got some running that middle line. You know, it seems to me that middle line to that high line really would save the tires. But we're looking through here, and you know, these guys are settling in. We've got a good green flag look here to this race, Joseph.
Yeah, it certainly does, and we see the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell look to the bottom of the 8 of David Lorfano. I think Lorfano thought he was going to go to the bottom and give him some room. That just wasn't the case, and he was planning on running the middle. That might have hurt Cogswell, though, more than it hurt Lorfano.
Yeah, it looks like he forced the issue there, and he was making his own lane there, as he's still looking on the inside of David Lorfano. Here comes Cogswell the inside.
Yeah,
and you got Nathan Eastep looking on the outside.
Cogswell not having any help on that bottom line. Oh! He's flipping! Goodness. He flipped! Oh my goodness, what just happened?
As he just got turned.
Oh!
Goodness, another car's collected.
We're still green here.
Still green, no caution yet.
Let's go back and look and see exactly what happened here. So, oh my, a huge wreck there. I gotta see that again to believe it. I don't think I've ever seen something like that at Las Vegas.
I think they both had the same idea.
Oh!
Just Nathan Eastep came down and just turned Jonathan Cogswell right in the outside wall. Really unfortunate for Jonathan Cogswell, who really was running well there.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by these cautions just haven't been flying for this week on iRacing. And he'll go down, try to get his fast repair, but man, that was a heavy hit to the outside wall, or the hedge fence.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And I think there was another car that was involved there. I was trying to pick up who that was. I believe it was the 66 of John Garrett, maybe.
No, I don't think it was John Garrett. I think it was the 60 of Zach Woods.
I do believe you're right, because I see he's falling back there, and he is in the pits getting some damage looked at.
Yeah, that almost reminded me of the Mcintyre wreck at Daytona, where he flipped up into the catch fence where Michael Jordan and Bubba Wallace were.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, you never know these cars, if they get turned around, doesn't matter what kind of cars that NASCAR has these guys in. Um, even from, I heard Kevin Harvick say earlier last weekend that he's seen cars like Cal Yarbrough in '83 get turned around by himself in qualifying and go airborne. You've got guys like Ryan Newman who got airborne in the old COT. You got Joey Logano who was airborne in the Gen 6 car. And, we've had Harrison Burton already upside down in the Gen 7 car. So these cars are bound to get upside down, and they a little over-exaggerated here in iRacing, but it certainly does happen.
Yeah, it sure does. Let's go ahead and go through the field here. The leader, Greg Wood, sat on pole, led every lap so far. Then second, we got David Lorfano, started sixth. He's already up to second. Third, we got James McCanney. Fourth, Christopher Pendell. How do you do? You are already up front. Wow. George Jewell in fifth. Sixth, John Garrett. Seventh, John Mcintyre. Eighth, Ron Morris Jr. Ninth, Todd
the caution
Gleek.
is out.
And 10th, Andrew Hurley. Looks like we got a caution. Not sure what exactly happened. Let's go and see what we can find.
After the incidents we've had, it may be difficult to see what happened.
Let's see. Is this it back here?
I think the caution's already out at that point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly happened.
Well, that will give these guys a little chance to catch their breath. As we already, 21 laps in here, this race is, clicking off pretty quickly. So it does look like Zachary Woods is already done for the night. Same as Kyle Harbin in the 32. Those were two of the earlier incidents that we had. Zachary Woods caught Jonathan Cogswell there coming down the front into turn one. So unfortunate for those guys early on. Looks like already out of the race tonight.
Yeah, they're already out of the race, and it's just so unfortunate to see guys get wrecked out so early. But it looks like we got some takers down pit road. We got John McIntyre, Alfred Denny, John Garrett, George Koiviak, Sid Butler, Kevin Gibney, Ron Morris, Josh Pontbriand, Steve Rada. A lot of these guys that were running around 10th or so come down pit road, and we should see yeah.
I think some of these guys had some incidents, and they were just trying to maybe get a little fresh rubber on there. Maybe they won't pit when the end of the stage comes up. We'll just have to see if they pull a little strategy or what happens here. So, but yeah, certainly some pit calls here. Most of the top 10 did stay out, so we'll have to see where the field cycles through, and we'll get back underway here shortly.
Well, let's go ahead and bring Christopher Pendell in here, and see how he's liking this car.
Hey Chris, it's Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey man, 2 wins on the season. Awesome win last week. How's the car handling this week?
I'll be honest with you. I'm still trying to figure it out. I was in practice, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one. I had seen a lot of guys getting loose off the exit 4, and I was having that same problem. I'm just kind of feeling her out right now a little bit. I think everybody's kind of tiptoeing around here, being patient, and I think that's another reason I was able to get this high up right now as I am. But we'll see what happens here. Like I said, I'm just tiptoeing it out. I'm going to run this race, run to the end of the stage here. Hopefully try to get up to Greg and get me a stage win, and if not, then we'll hopefully we learn something that we can use that to the end of the race later on.
Yeah, man. after a great run last week, you were the first two-time winner this season. Started 26th this race, already up to 4th. It's really looking like you can put it on repeat.
Well, I hope so. I mean, like I said, Greg's my teammate, and so is George. I'd love to see one of them win too. But if I'm up there, I'm willing to give her everything I got to get up there and get another win. But yeah, we'll see what happens. This Mustang, even though I'm still learning, she's fast. So we'll hopefully we got something for him tonight.
Good luck, man. We'll get you back with your team, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of the race.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
That was our 4th place runner, Christopher Pendell.
Yeah, he's already talking. The guys are taking it easy, and I think that's the key here. We're going to have to see what these guys do. We're getting ready. As the lights are out on top of the pace car, we'll be going green next time by. I think these guys have seen that, there's been a lot of caution a lot of caution laps in most of the first races of the season, and I think these guys want to get some green flag runs in. I know they've had a couple of practices this week, so looking to see what these guys can do. And we've got some different faces up front, so looking forward to see what these guys do tonight. So they're coming down the Nellis straightaway, and we'll get back to green here in just a moment.
Yeah, I mean, great run to start. It was almost like a competition caution. That might be what it was. I'm not exactly sure. It wasn't the stage. Stage was at lap 42 and 84. But we'll just have to see. And great racing. Now they got to do the same thing for 20 more laps. Get it under their belt. Get that stage win like they want. Or a good stage finish. But we'll have to see. Oh, the pace car lights are back on.
Yeah, looks like we're going to go one more lap. Got some late race wave rounds. They're going to get some guys back in place. I think they probably realized there might have been an issue with those cautions not coming out, especially when the 27 had his issue down in turn 1. So, I mean, I think you and I agree that should have been a caution. So, I think they're trying to do some things to make things a little right here, and get some guys a wave around to get them back where they need to be.
Yeah, that's something we sort of expected to see. Looks like they postponed it one more time, and we'll just have to see. But we were going through the field. Let's go ahead and do that one more time since we didn't get to finish. Greg Wood is your leader in the Pulse Graphics machine. 2nd, David Lorfano. 3rd, James McCanney. 4th, Christopher Pendell. 5th, Todd Cleek. 6th, George Jewell. 7th, David Modespaw. 8th, Andrew Hurley. 9th, Stephen Harper. 10th, Bill Sleep.
And 11th is the number 11 is Zachary Cleek. In 12th right now, David Mayo in the 08. John Garrett back in 13th in the 66. Nathan Luck in that 15. Looks like a throwback to old Gulf paint scheme. He is in 14th now. 37. Sid Butler in 15th. The 21 of Alfred Denny is riding 16th. And the 2, John McIntyre, is in 17th. And Steve Rada in the 3 will be 18th. Ron Morris Jr. in the 76 is in 19th. And George Kovacic is in 20th.
21st, we got Josh Pontbriand. 22nd, Jonathan Cogswell. 23rd, Nolan Pontbriand. 24th, Josh Anderson. 25th, Nathan Eastep. 26th, James Santoyo. 27th, on pit road, Kevin Gibney Jr. 28th is Tyler Robinson. 29th, Zach Woods. 30th, Kyle Harbin. And 31st, Angel Santiago.
Yeah, and just to bring to light before we go, as we're getting ready to go green here, they're coming down the Nellis straightaway. Zachary Woods, Kyle Harbin, and Angel Santiago already out of the race tonight. I believe Angel Santiago may have had to start and park tonight. Not sure what's going on there, but Angel's really had some good runs. I hate to see He's not in the field tonight, but as we are coming through 3 and 4, we're getting ready to go green.
Yep, we're about to go green, and here we come.
The pace car is going to duck down pit road.
And
Greg Wood's going to bring him down for the start.
Greg Wood coming, go, 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 go. He is off and away. David Lorfano in second. Third is Christopher Pendell. Already moving through the field, as we said. A great run here today. He's using that top line to his advantage to try to get a good run off. And he's going to be right in behind Greg Wood Jr. down the backstretch.
Here comes David Lorfano looking to the inside of Greg Wood here, looking to take that lead for the first time tonight in that Lucky Dog Detailing Chevrolet. He has a great run. He's going to pull it down to the inside here.
Here we go, side by side. And it looks like it was Greg Wood at the line, so he has continued to lead every lap so far. But Chris Pendell using that top lane, trying to wind it up for on the straightaway. He'll be on the outside of David Lorfano. Inside is David Lorfano. Outside is Christopher Pendell. Can he get clear out of 3 and 4? He kind of runs that top, arcs it down into the middle in center. He's going to get the run off, but will he be able to get clear? He will. Now he sets his sight on the leader, Greg Wood. Heading into turn 1, Christopher Pendell using that top line. Once again, he is charging through the field.
Those two cars, even though they're different brands, it doesn't really matter here in iRacing. Those guys are teammates, and I think Chris was up there running behind him. I think he would rather. There he comes on the inside of Greg Wood, looking to take the lead here. He will lead this lap.
Chris Pendell has a rocket ship right now, from 26 to first in 30 laps. This man is on a mission. Greg Wood Jr. on the top, trying to get the run. He'll be side by side down the backstretch with Chris. Chris has the help from David Lorfano. Now they're going to be side by side. Greg Wood gets the run off the top. He's going to be on the quarter of Chris Pendell. It'll be Greg Wood at the line here. Now Chris Pendell back on the inside, looking. Oh, we got a car spinning. I believe that's.
I think he's saved it.
It looks like that was James McCanney. What a save by him. He just slammed on the brakes and was able to catch it. But here we go. Chris Pendell back on the inside of our leader, Greg Wood. Third is Andrew Hurley. Fourth is David Lorfano. These guys are side by side and looking for more.
Yeah, here comes Andrew Hurley. First time in the top 5 tonight. Looking to, he had a really fast car last week, and just an unfortunate incident, took him out. So here he comes. He's looking to get up there and give these guys a little bit. Here comes George Jewell in the 07. So a much different looking top 5 than we had last week. But these guys are side by side for the last 3 or 4 laps. It's excellent racing here. Here comes David Lorfano looking on the outside of Andrew Hurley. Andrew Hurley will get him at the line there for 3rd place.
Andrew Hurley is another one of those guys that didn't really start towards the front, but he's already up to 3rd. He started 18th. These guys are on a mission. Will he help Chris Pendell try to get by his teammate Greg Wood?
And so here we go. Looks like Andrew Hurley's on the inside here, looking on the inside of Christopher Pendell. And it looks like these guys, I think these guys are, I'm not sure if Andrew Hurley pitted on that last pit stop. Could be a difference in tires, I'm not sure. But these guys are still running pretty tight, and their lap times are pretty similar as well.
Well, no, he did not pit. The first car on tires is 6th in the 66 of John Garrett. So all these guys are on equal tires. It's just some have saved more than others.
Well, certainly excellent racing tonight as we're at lap 35. Got about 7 laps left here in the stage.
Chris Pendell arcing that corner once again, trying to get the run, trying to get by the leader of Greg Wood. Just hasn't been able to do so quite yet. He's going to look down the straightaway, but I just don't think he has the run to do it right now.
Here he comes. He's right in the slipstream of that 78 coming on the front stretch. And I'm really not sure if maybe he's sort of biding his time, trying to get a little closer to the end of the stage here as he's looking on the inside of Greg Wood now.
I mean, these guys are definitely cutting it close here. Beating and banging almost sometimes, but that's what we'll see with these composite bodies. But Chris Pendell running a little bit higher line than anybody else we've really seen. It's starting to really work for him as he's right on the bumper of Greg Wood as we head into one.
Yeah, I think that's the big part of running that high line is you get Uncle Mo on your side, and that's old Uncle Momentum. And that helps really sling you down that back stretch and really gives you good runs. We see here Chris Pendell gets that run on Greg Wood. Still not able to complete that pass, though, but you know, as we're coming here to lap 38, about 5 laps to go in the stage here.
Let me tell you what, the 47 of Andrew Hurley, we talked to him after he got wrecked out last week. He is moving through the field, and he might be able to clear Pendell out of the corner.
He sure is looking like it. Like I said, though, that momentum on that outside line sends the 6 of Pendell on down past, and he is able to keep Andrew Hurley at bay for now. And I think David Lorfano is just sort of sitting back there and say, guys, you go ahead and just wear your tires out. I'll get you here. I'll get you here shortly.
Well,
Here comes John McIntyre.
He doesn't have time to waste because there are 3 laps to go in the stage now. Andrew Hurley just put the biggest slide job we've seen tonight on Chris Pendell. He's moved into the 2nd position. He's looking for more. He's looking for the lead.
And don't look now. Here comes John McIntyre, last week's pole sitter. I believe he does have fresh tires, and he's coming to the front.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He did pit, and we saw him win the race off pit road. He is coming to the front, but I don't know. It might be too little too late because he has to get by these guys and Greg Wood.
Here he comes.
He is 3 wide down the backstretch.
As he pulls to the inside of Chris Pendell there, and he has his sights set on Greg Wood now.
You know, I might have spoke too soon. He is flying. Let's go on board with him while he tries to run down the leader of Greg Wood. You could see it just how much he's diving in deeper than Greg Wood. He's looking. He can't do anything. He still has to get that draft down the straightaway. We're coming to 1 to go in the stage here next lap.
Gets a little bit of a higher run off this turn 4 to get that momentum down this front stretch.
Looked like he got a little bit tight out of turn 4 and wasn't able to continue the momentum. I don't think he can catch Greg Wood this lap, so I think Greg Wood pretty much has this stage locked up, but it's now a battle for 2nd as Chris Pendell is looking on the outside.
Yeah, I think those fresh tires on the 2 of McIntyre are gonna keep him there as Greg Wood comes across and will win stage 1. John McIntyre 2nd and Chris Pendell in 3rd. Andrew Hurley 4th, and then Ron Morris Jr. up to 5th, and Jonathan Cogswell back up to 6th.
Well, yeah, man, what a great run by Greg Wood that first stage. I believe he led all but like 2 or 3 laps when we saw Chris Pendell get on the outside of him and pass him for a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I'm curious to see what the 2 of McIntyre does. You know, when these other leaders pit, will he come back in and pit again? We'll just have to wait and see. But great win by in that stage by Greg Wood, the 78 Pulse Graphics machine. And these guys have to split Greg Wood so they don't run into the back of him. And quite a run there on the pace car, sort of slowed everybody up pretty quick there. So as he'll get everybody in behind him here, and they'll get ready to come down pit road and get service on these machines after this end of stage 1.
Yeah, I mean, what a great run by Greg Wood, Chris Pendell, Andrew Hurley. They all moved through the field fairly quickly. And, man, what a great first stage. We'll get a hold of Greg Wood after he gets done with pits. We don't really want to interrupt him, make him miss his pit box or anything, but great race so far. I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Absolutely. As these guys come down pit road to get service on their cars.
We see Greg Wood with that first pit box. You don't get pit box choice when in iRacing, but you definitely can get that first stall.
But John Mcintyre will certainly win the race off pit road. I'm assuming that he probably just topped off on fuel a little bit because his tires aren't that old.
Yeah, it looks like the top 3 only took fuel. And we look right back up, and Jonathan Cogswell. We saw him do a little bit of a flip into the catch fence in turn 1. Already back on the lead lap in P3. Let's go ahead and pull in Greg Wood and see what he thinks about his vehicle.
Hey Greg, this is Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
Hey man, you've got that Pulse Graphics 78 machine looking mighty fine up there tonight. How's the track?
The track's a little slick, but actually it rubbered in pretty well. So I'm definitely hopeful. I know I gave up the lead on that caution flag or that pit stop because I'm trying to help race control with his commands, since I usually do race control for other leagues. So I was trying to help him with the hotkeys, and
Gotcha.
yeah, so that's how I lost the lead. But I mean, this 78 car, I mean, it's on a rail. I couldn't believe I ran a 181 in qualifying. So I got a little bit of work to do, pass 3 cars, get back up to the front. So I think all in all, we should be good.
I think those top 3, I think they just took fuel, so you should be. I think they've got about 10, 15 lap tires on their machines, so you should be good there. But looking good so far. Anybody you want to shout out?
Just shout out to you guys for putting on a good broadcast, and Angel for hosting this race. I know it was a little iffy. Our race control kind of backed out last second, so we had to hurry up and finagle and try to get everybody in order, which is why Kevin Gibney is now race control and he's not running the race at the moment. There's a couple of caution flags that should have been, or a couple of incidents that should have been cautions, but of course we didn't have a race control. So, but now it's all ironed out, so we should be good.
Good deal. Well, good luck the rest of the way, Greg, and congratulations on that stage 1 win.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, man.
That was our stage 1 winner, the 78 of Greg Wood in that purple Pulse Graphics car. Beautiful scheme as always, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this race.
Yeah, and just in case anybody's curious, Pulse Graphics, they do vehicle wraps, signs, banners, stickers, decals, iRacing wraps, and race control. Just look for at Pulse Graphics on Facebook, or reach out to Greg Wood for more details. He'll be glad to help you out. But it looks like the lights are out on top of the pace car.
Yeah, pace car lights are off, and we're about to go green as they head into this turn, and I'm ready.
Yeah, looks like got some new faces up front. Got somebody trying to get a wave around real quick before we go green. I'll have to really pick them up and put them down so they can get caught up to the field there. Looks like John Mcintyre is on the outside here. We've got Ron Morris Jr. in the 76 on the inside. Greg Wood will be on that outside line, so he'll be able to get that momentum. And that outside line, it usually has pretty good grip up there. So, like I said, we'll just have to get some laps on these tires, get everything seated in, and we'll see how this all shakes out. We'll go to lap 84 for the end of stage 2, and then they'll run it out to the end.
Now remember, guys, we will have a little bit of trivia later in the race, but right now, just go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications, do whatever you can to get this race out there and spread the word. But we're going green here, and the 78 gives a huge push to the 2 of John Mcintyre, already to the bottom. He might be in the lead before we enter turn 1.
Here he comes as he gets the lead there. He's got those fresh tires, and he'll get up in front of this field, settling back in. John Mcintyre on the outside there with Ron Morris Jr. on the inside as we come down the Nellis straightaway into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, and I mean, man, it really has to stink for David Lorfano being stuck behind these two guys.
And Andrew Hurley gets a little loose off of 4, though. He's
Oh, man. I feel like he landed on about every car he could have right there. Caution's out, but every time he got knocked up in the air, he ended up landing on another car.
Yeah, I think what happened was there is the 47 Andrew Hurley. He got a little, as these guys were talking, got a little loose off of turn 4. And he did the best he could to save it. And he got down in the grass. And once you get in that grass, it's pretty difficult to, and he comes right back up in front of the field. And from there, it was on after that. So it looks like you had several drivers there who got caught up in that, unfortunately for them. So,
man, just a huge wreck there. Nolan Pontbriand was involved, George Koviakit, James Santoyo, Andrew Hurley, Bill Sleep. Just so unfortunate for everybody, but James Santoyo definitely one of those guys that have to be heartbroken because he thought he was clear, and then Hurley just came down on him.
yeah, that was pretty crazy. I was watching from the front of the pack, and I saw him turning and getting ready to go across in front of the field, and I knew it wasn't going to be a good thing. So, unfortunate for Andrew Hurley. He certainly had a rocket ship tonight. He'll bring it down pit road. He's got a fast repair in his back pocket. He'll have to go ahead and use that tonight. And we'll get these guys back out on the track. And so here everybody's trying to get caught up here.
Remember, we are watching the comment section. Always looking for you guys to show us who your favorite drivers are. We want to see it, and we want to shout your favorite driver out.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure, though, like Joseph said there a few minutes ago, make sure to like and subscribe, and you'll get all the notifications when anytime ESPN comes live with a race. And we have lots of races throughout the week. I don't think there's many nights that we don't have something going on. So if you like watching iRacing and seeing these guys tackle these different tracks, certainly make sure to like and subscribe. Click that little bell so you'll get notified when we go live.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do our first trivia question of the night. Okay, so Las Vegas Motor Speedway, of course there's the oval, but how many other different configurations of the track are there? You know, like the Roval has, or Charlotte has the Roval, Pocono has a road course.
I think there's three different configurations if you're not counting the bull ring. So I think there's 2 different versions of the road course plus the oval. That's my guess.
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, just got Nolan commenting in the chat there. There goes his race. Nolan's had some great runs here the last couple of weeks. Unfortunate to see him caught up in that. Yeah, I hate to see that for Nolan. He had some great runs. I like seeing these young guys get up there and sort of hand it to these old fellas. It's sort of a breath of fresh air to see that young talent. You know, I think that there's a lot of good young talent out there in iRacing right now. So we'll just, Nolan will come back. He'll be just as strong as ever in the next race. Hate to see you're out of the race already, Nolan.
Yeah, man, just unfortunate to see that. But go get him next week, and we love seeing you out there.
Absolutely. It's the pace lights right on top of the pace car. They're coming out of turn 2. They'll be headed down that Nellis straightaway into 3 and 4. We'll be going back green here shortly. I think if you see the cars going around and getting some laps back, I think there were some issues, as Greg Wood mentioned there, with some race control and things like that. So they're trying to get some things straightened out and get everybody back where they need to be. So that's what's going on there. But these guys, they do the best to try to make these races as fair as possible. And unfortunately, the caution didn't come out like it should there a couple times early on. So they're trying to get everybody back where they need to be. As here we come, coming out of turn 4. That Ford Mustang pace car is going to dive on down pit road, and we will be back under the green flag here very shortly.
The 78 of Greg Wood will lead him to the green, and he is off and no, he's holding. He's going now. David Lorfano is going to be in 4th. Here we go. Will David Lorfano be able to stay on the outside of the 76 of Ron Morris Jr.? We'll just have to see. Quarter, even. Clear out of the corner. And he is flying down the backstretch, trying to figure out a way to get around Greg Wood Jr. now. Will he be able...
As Joseph gives us a little spotting lesson there, I mean, that's what these guys are hearing. If they do have a spotter, they want to know when they're even, when they're clear. So, that's exactly what these guys are listening for. They want to hear that clear so they can slide up in front. It may be by a half inch or a quarter inch, but as long as they hear clear, they try to get up as quickly as possible there. David Lorfano gets a little wide off of 2 there, and it gives John McIntyre a run down the backstretch as he tries to set sail and take off after that 78 of Greg Wood. Here comes John Garrett, a new player in the top 5 tonight.
Let's go ahead and answer that trivia question. There are 9 different configurations. You got the main 1.5. There's a small dirt track. There is a road course. There's a rallycross track. There is a monster jam, a go-kart track, and plenty others. But we do have a caution here. Let's see what happened to Alfred Denny in the 21. Oh, big wiggle for Chris Pendell. That's one of the few times you'll see Pendell make a mistake, and it costs some of these guys. Man, unfortunate to see. I know Chris didn't mean to do that. He's one of the cleanest racers in here, and yeah, I mean, man, what a huge hit for the 21 of Alfred Denny.
Yeah, we certainly hate to see that. Like you said, Chris is one of the cleaner racers, and so I hate to see those guys get together. But like we were talking earlier, these guys have got to get some. They've got to get some laps on these tires, then they can go racing. I think that's the key. When these tires are cold, they don't stick to that track. But once they get a little heat in them, that's when they like to take off, and they get grippy, and then you can go racing.
I'd like to shout out the overall facility of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They don't just use it for racing. They let the local police come in, do some training for their patrol guys if they ever get in a chase. This is where they train.
So yeah, that's a big thing about most NASCAR tracks is they do like to help out when they can, if their facilities can be used for training for local law enforcement, military, things like that. So NASCAR likes to you know be a big part of that. So definitely props to Las Vegas for doing that. And it's like we had that green flag run there early in the race. Now we know that it's because iRacing just don't want to throw cautions. So we'll look to see what's going on. And I think they're trying to get some guys some laps back, as you still see here. But we're getting some laps here. It's been awfully racy tonight, that's for sure. Greg Wood looks awfully strong up there in that 78 Pulse Graphics Toyota Camry. David Lorfano looking strong in that number 8 Lucky Dog Detailing Chevrolet. So, we'll get these guys going here. As we go to lap 84, will be the end of stage 2, and then we'll go to lap 134 to finish this race out.
Yeah, man, just crazy racing so far. We saw that first stage almost go green the whole way with only one caution. The second stage, it's been a little bit different, but we've still seen quite a few green flag runs in it, and we got about 20 laps left in the stage. I expect the green flag run right here.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to get settled in, and I think we had somebody say in the chat, one of our colleagues, Cliff Corvo, there's good days in racing and there's bad days in racing. So hopefully these guys like to see more good than bad, but occasionally you're going to have a bad day, but then you just got to just pull your pants back up, get ready to go at it again. Tighten that belt just a little bit tighter next time, and we'll get these guys going here. Looks like we may be going green next time by.
Yeah, I think we're going to be going green next time by. Should be interesting to see. We have had a little bit of technical difficulties, it seems, with the cautions. And I really hate to see it for these guys. Next week it should be better, but man, just unfortunate that these cautions didn't come out.
A shout out to Kevin Gibney Jr. Stepping aside and helping out tonight. So that should help get things a little more straightened out, and as you can see how the cars going by and trying to get things situated from earlier in the race. So we'll be going green next time by as the guys getting ready to exit turn 2 to come down the Nellis straightaway. And why is it called the Nellis straightaway, Joseph?
Because of the Nellis Air Force Base behind the track.
You're absolutely correct. So here we come. This is the second configuration for Las Vegas. Las Vegas used to be a little bit flatter. Really, had wide corners, but they raised the banking. Wanted to get a little more speed in the track, and they certainly have done that. As this track has really gotten a lot more speedy, especially with these newer cars. So here we come. Take the green. The pace car is off. And we are green. It's like
now
Greg
we're
Wood
green. Greg Wood.
Really getting a late start there, but you don't want to do the same thing twice. So John McIntyre looks to the inside of David Lorfano going into turn 1.
John McIntyre used the strategy call to get himself up front, but it looks like it's paying off. David Lorfano on the outside, John McIntyre on the inside. It looks like Lorfano is going to get clear and set his sights on our leader, Greg Wood. And David Lorfano always running up front. Hasn't had the best of luck this season. But I think he's going to break through tonight and get himself either a win or a good top 3.
Well, don't look now. Here comes John Garrett in the 66.
Love seeing these new names up here every week.
Absolutely. You're looking on the inside of David Lorfano.
I mean, every week it seems we get a new set of drivers up here up front and battling it out, doing everything they can. John Garrett able to get by David Lorfano. Now he sets his sights on our leader, Greg Wood. Greg Wood been the dominant driver all night. Will anybody be able to touch him this race? I honestly don't know.
Well, John Garrett had some damage early in the race, I think, from the initial start of the race, and there was a little bit of a checkup. But he's got his automobile straightened out, and here he comes, getting ready to look on the inside of Greg Wood.
This is one of the only guys we've been able to see pull up beside Greg Wood down the straightaway, be able to keep it, and take the lead from him as Greg Wood just snapped loose on entry. That might have been one of the first times I've seen him this race unstable.
Yeah, he did get a little out of shape there. He's trying to pinch down David Lorfano there. But he needs to be careful because that could twitch that 8 Chevy loose, and then there will be more trouble. But here those guys side by side for second. Greg Wood, David Lorfano, is John Garrett starting to put a little distance between himself and the rest of the field.
John Garrett definitely starting to do that. And we're also starting to see John Garrett use that bottom better than anybody else. Will that hurt his right front tire, or will that save a little bit of right front tire?
I think each driver, it's all dependent on how they're driving the car. They're in fixed setups, but each driver has his own driving style, and that affects the way the car handles. So, as here comes Greg Wood looking on the outside of John Garrett there. He got that run on that high side.
Greg Wood just made a power move. He got past and said, "Hey, I'm gonna let you lead a couple laps. It's my turn again. I'm back in the lead."
Absolutely. As here comes David Lorfano letting these guys sort of use their stuff up. He's just sort of sitting back there riding in third.
Yeah, just kind of riding, waiting for his time to make a move, and it's gonna come soon because it looks like John Garrett might have used up his stuff, and David Lorfano is starting to make a move on him.
Joseph, let's go back and take a look and see how Chris Pendell is making his way through the pack.
Looks like the 96 of Josh Pontbriand and the 7 of Josh Anderson were side by side in front of him, and it looks like Pendell didn't really want to fix his damage quite yet. I don't think he took his fast repair just so he could, in case he gets caught up in something, he can still be up there at the end.
Yeah, I think you want to keep that in your back pocket. You never know. He didn't get a lot of damage there, just a little damage on the side where he got into the door there of Alfred Denny. He has gotten past the 96 and the 7. Now he's got his sights set on Sid Butler in the 37. So he's picking his way back through the field.
Now I thought Greg Wood made a power move, but John Garrett just made a bigger power move. He got past. He just went by him once again. This is going to be a good battle for the end of the stage, and only 14 to go in it. It's getting interesting.
Oh, absolutely. You got 3 cars up there, and they're just sort of watching each other, seeing where each other's just trying to see where the other might have a weakness. So, and Greg Wood got a little high there coming out too, and he lost a little momentum there. He sort of had to pull it down off the wall. So, definitely those tires may be starting to, we've got probably 30 plus laps on these tires now. So we're coming down to the end of this stage with about 13 to go.
Yep, and Greg Wood looks to have used all the goodie off of his tires as Lorfano's looking to make a move on him now. John Garrett slowly inching away, and I mentioned earlier who is going to be able to stop Greg Wood. It looks like John Garrett's living up to that question and saying, I'm the one that can come past Greg Wood and keep the lead.
Absolutely. He's certainly starting to put a little distance between himself and Greg Wood in the 78, so we'll have to see how things pan out.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go through the field once again. We got our leader, John Garrett, 78 of Greg Wood in second. Third, David Lorfano. Fourth, George Jewell. Fifth, Zachary Cleek. Sixth, Todd Cleek. Seventh, Steve Rada. Eighth, Nathan Eastup. Ninth, Sid Butler. 10th, John Mcintyre.
In 11th, we've got 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. After coming back from that wreck early in the races, he's trying to make a pass here on John McIntyre. Then we've got the 76 of Ron Morris Jr. back to 12th. Alfred Denny is up to 13th place as he has passed Chris Pendell. Chris Pendell is now in 14th. Josh Pompbrown in the 15th. Josh Anderson is up to 16th. David Montespa running 17th. Bill Sleep in the 62 is running at 18th. James McCanney, who was running in top 5 earlier in the race, he is back in 19th position. And we have Stephen Harper in the 5 running 20th.
21st, we got David Mayo in the 08. 22nd, Nathan Luck. 23rd, George Kovac. 24th, Tyler Robinson. And that's going to round out our field here that's on the lead lap. And James Santoyo, I believe, is the last car running. But as we were going through the field, it looks like we got a change for the lead once again, and Greg Wood is back up front. But John Garrett says, I want the lead back. I'm coming to the inside. We are side by side in 1 and 2. He dives on the bottom, just doesn't have the front grip to get it rotated. He cannot get it, and David Orfano is going to look to the inside, I believe. No, he just stays in line. He's willing to let these guys race it out, and coming to 8 to go or 7 to go in the stage, I think he's going to make a move here soon to try to get by the 66 of John Garrett.
I think he's letting these guys burn their stuff up. I think David is just sitting back there saying, guys, you go right ahead, burn your stuff up, race each other. When we get a little closer to the end of this stage, I'm going to come over and pass you both.
Yeah, definitely, but John Garrett definitely going to make it hard on him. But like I said earlier, they're starting to move to that very top lane, and I think that's going to be the place to be as this race goes on and the shade goes throughout the entire track.
So here comes John Garrett looking on the inside of 78 again in the middle of 1 and 2. I think Greg Wood's going to get that launch down the other straightaway with that momentum from running that high line through 1 and 2.
It almost seems like they're alternating. In turns 1 and 2, Greg Wood's running the top, and these guys are running the bottom. In 3 and 4, it's the exact opposite. Now we got David Orfano coming to the inside of John Garrett, saying it's my time, and I want second so I can go battle for the lead for the stage win. He can't get the grip and almost loses it on the bottom. John Garrett's going to keep the position for now, but I think this could get to where John Garrett tries to make a move on our leader of Greg Wood, gets a little tight, can't do it, and David Orfano gets by him and then sets his sights on our leader, Greg Wood.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, they're trying different lines, you'll see John Garrett hit that low line in the middle of 1 and 2, and then he'll hit the high line. He's going to make me a liar. He's going to hit the low line again in 3 and 4. So he's trying everything he can to get the run on Greg Wood as we come to 4 laps to go in this stage.
Man, he really made that bottom work in 3 and 4 that time by. He was wrapping it like I've never seen this week. It's almost like he lifted a little bit earlier to get to the bottom, and it paid off. Now they're heading into 3 and 4 as the 66 of John Garrett's going to try to replicate that line. Can't do it that time, but it's close enough. He's going to get to the quarter panel of Greg Wood. Greg Wood gets to run off the corner and clears him. Redwood's going to head into turn 1. Going to look for that clean air. The 66 of John Garrett will. David Lorfano on the bottom. The middle is John Garrett, and the top was Greg Wood that time. It was almost like they were all three running their own lines separately. It was really interesting to see. Greg Wood, John Garrett. This time John Garrett's under him. Can he get the side draft? No. Greg Wood just keeps getting the run off the corner. Now they're heading back into 3 and 4. Greg Wood is going to try and do it again, but John Garrett just sent it, and I think he really lost that nose and couldn't get it rotated through the corner.
He really is. He's trying everything he can as we're getting ready to come here, for the final lap of stage 2, and we'll have to, he's trying to throw different things at him, so we'll have to see what happens as we're coming to the final lap of this stage. So we'll see which driver is going to get this stage win. It looks like John Garrett's trying to look up high, maybe get a little momentum to shoot him down that backstretch. I think these guys have really just used their tires up, and I think the way you're seeing them run right now is probably how they're going to finish this stage. I think they've used the goodie up, and of course John Garrett's going to try to make me a liar again as he tries one more last shot at Greg Wood, and Greg Wood will come across and win stage 2. So Greg Wood, a winner of stage 1 and stage 2, as we come to the conclusion of the stage 2, and we'll get settled in here for a long run as the caution is now out to end the stage, and we will get ready for a pretty decent run here coming up, Joseph. We'll have about a little less than 50 laps to finish this race, and these first 2 have been about 42, give or take a few laps. So definitely we may see a green flag pit stop here if there's no cautions. So what are you thinking for this final run?
I don't think they're gonna be needing a green flag pit stop. What I've seen is you can make it about 56 laps on fuel this week, and these guys are running about the same, or about 50 laps, but by the time they pitted, they'll be going green. They are on 65% fuel though, so let me do the math. I'll get back to you, and we'll see what these fuel runs are going to look like.
All right, well, here come the front runners down pit road as they'll come in, get some fresh tires and a little Sunoco racing fuel to finish this race off. You've got Greg Wood, our leader, John Garrett in second, David Lorfano third, and you have George Jewell back there. So let's see. Looks like Alfred Denny runs through his pits just a little bit there. He has to back it up. So we'll see how these guys come out. Looks like Greg Wood is going to come off first. John Garrett second, David Lorfano third, just as we finish that stage. So we'll have to see how things shake out here, see if there's any pit strategy. So it looks like pretty clean pit stops. Like I said, I did see Alfred Denny sort of slide through his pit box. So we'll have to see how that affects him. So we'll get everybody caught back up. We'll let the field cycle through, and we'll see where we're at for where everybody's running here. So everybody's getting caught up after getting tires and fuel, getting settled in for this last run to the checkered flag. As you see there, James Santoyo's been in some incidents this evening. He's come down pit road to get service on his vehicle. So it's looking, they're looking like we may have some green flag runs here toward the end, Joseph. So we'll have to see what these guys, what they're going to do, how things are going to pan out. But, looks like Greg Wood has certainly got the dominant car so far this evening. John Garrett, Dave Lorfano, all have had the flashes of of some strength, but we'll have to see where everything pans out.
Okay, so by the math we're getting from our pit reporters, it looks like we're going to be about 10 laps short to making it to the end. So it's definitely going to be something interesting to see as this race goes on.
Yeah, I think these guys will probably run 10 or so laps, and then if they see a caution, I think you'll see everybody back down pit road just to get everything topped off. And just really curious to see how this finishes out. There's definitely been some great racing tonight. These guys are certainly starting to get used to these cars. And we're getting some tracks. I know we had some issues at some of the tracks earlier. Just trying to get used to these cars, but these guys are really starting to get a hold of them. And had some great racing the last 2 weeks. So looks like the lights will be going off on top of the pace car. And we will be going green next time by. Yes,
Yeah.
once again, some new faces up front. So we got Zachary Cleek up there in the 4th spot. Nathan Estep is back up there. Jonathan Cogswell is back in the top 10. Ron Morse Jr., Todd Cleek. So it's good to see these new faces getting back up in the top 10. These races, especially late. So we'll be going green with about 44 laps left in the race. So it's going to be pretty close, Joseph, to being able to run this on out. Maybe see somebody start clutching it and trying to roll through the corner, and we'll just have to see what happens.
I'm going to give y'all about 20 laps to get this. In the NASCAR Cup Series, the pole was set at 196 mile per hour, 27.5 second lap. Do you know the year and driver that was set?
Is that Las Vegas?
Yes. Green flag is out, and Greg Wood is leaving the field.
Yep, he tried to take another late start. He has certainly jumped out to a lead there. As he's trying to get settled in, Dave Lorfano into 2nd. John Garrett falls in 3rd, and then behind John Garrett there is a mess, and they're all wanting to get up there. So let's focus back about as Dave Lorfano sort of there we go.
Oh!
And we have. Let's take a look and see what happened.
It looked like it was about synchronized spinning right there. They all made it. Doesn't look like anybody really got damaged. I think that's where the caution came out right there. I think everybody just went sliding through the grass. Congratulations to everybody for saving that. That was a really tough car to catch.
Well, and this could be the caution that gets. So I'm just going to call it. John Garrett is pitting right now, barring any damage that he has. He's pitting right now, topping off with fuel. If we go green, could pay off for John Garrett in the 66.
We'll see that right side. Oh, he went down to get a fast repair and some fuel. That was really smart by him to try to top off. I think that was really the only person who did that. We'll have to see if that pays off for him.
It looks like Jonathan Cogswell may be caught up, and I see him on pit road now. Unfortunate for him.
So that whole stage 1, stage 2, we saw John Garrett have damage on the nose of the car. That just shows how fast he was in that through that.
Yeah, he was caught up in a checkup on the initial start of the race, and I really think that was causing him some issues. So watch out, guys. He just took his fast repair, topped off with fuel. I think that 66 is going to be coming to the front. He may take his time. If it were me, I'd be taking my time. Now I know I've got enough fuel. My car's right, and John Garrett's already proved he's got a fast car even with the damage. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and bring in our second place runner, David Lorfano, and see how his car's handling.
Hey, Dave Lorfano, this is Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So I've been seeing you sort of hang back there in third place and watching, usually the top two. Are you sort of giving them time to burn their stuff up and then you're gonna get them, or what's your plan, buddy?
Oh, I don't know. It's tough up here. The draft keeps everyone kind of in tow. We'll see how it all plays out. I'm hoping, feel like I got a good shot at it if I can just, stay right up here with these. Greg Wood's been pretty top notch all night, so he's going to be tough to beat.
Absolutely. Well, you've got that lucky dog detailing number 8 Chevrolet looking pretty good tonight, buddy. So good luck the rest of the way, and maybe we'll be talking to you here at the end of the race.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome, man.
That was our second place runner, Greg Wood, or not Greg Wood, David Lorfano. Let's go back in the pack and take a look at the 7 of Josh Anderson, and he's really had a quiet race, but I mean, he's done really well.
Yeah, he really has. Just keeping that car clean, staying out of the trouble, and I think that's going to be the key here. But as we're getting ready to go back green, these guys are getting lined up, get settled in. Got about 39 laps to go when we take the green flag. So got Greg Wood taking the outside on this restart. Dave Lorfano will be in second on the inside. So then you got Nathan Estep back in third and Zachary Cleek in fourth. So we'll have to see how this pans out. But it's looking like it's going to be an exciting finish to this race, as it has been every race this season.
It sure should, and I'm really excited to see it. David Lorfano, Greg Wood, Nathan Estep, these guys we all saw towards the front at the start of the race. They're still there, and they're really ready to put on a show up front.
Absolutely. As here we come to get the green flag. The pace car dives down on the pit road. Will Greg Wood bring him down slow again? Harry takes off. Zachary Cleek right behind him. What a great restart by Greg Wood in the 78.
Zachary Cleek had, other than Greg Wood, one of the best restarts we saw, and will he be able to keep ahead of David Lorfano, or will that be short-lived? It's looking like it's going to be short-lived, as David Lorfano is past him and looking for Greg Wood. We saw the 76 of Ron Morris step loose there, but now we got a battle for the lead. David Lorfano, Greg Wood, side by side into 1 and 2. At the quarter, he is there still. Man, they are side by side. And
side by side down Lanella straightaways, he's still looking to the inside of Greg Wood in the 78. I think these guys are just having a blast out there running tonight. As David Lorfano looks to the inside, he will lead this lap.
Now I'm going to
Here we go
remind
into-
you all, you got 10 more laps to answer the trivia question. The fastest lap at Las Vegas was 27.505. What year was it ran? And who was the driver that set that lap?
So I'm just going to throw my guess out there. I'm going to say it was 2017 and Joey Logano. And I have not looked on Google, promise. That's my guess. I think that was the year that they repaved, if I can remember correctly, and I remember Joey being pretty quick that year. So that's my guess. I'm probably wrong, but hey, that's why it's called trivia.
Yeah, it sure is. And Greg Wood and David Lorfano still side by side. And this race just gets better and better as the laps go by. I don't know how this is going to end, but so far, this has been the best race of the season.
Absolutely. We're side by side for the lead still. David Lorfano looking on the inside of Greg Wood. I think these guys are just having a ball. David is going to eke out in front. Can he get clear of him? Greg Wood gets that run, and he just that momentum. They try to side draft a little bit.
It looks like David Lorfano was coming up and Greg Wood was coming down to side draft. That almost ended bad, and that could have opened up the door for a new winner, but both these drivers don't have a win this season, so it still would have been a new winner, but it'd be a new face up front.
Absolutely. As David Lorfano falls back in line behind the 78, and like he said, the draft is certainly going to come into play. So
Yeah,
these guys sort of let themselves get away from the field a little bit. They've already pulled about a second and a half on third place Nathan Estep. I think these guys are just going to maybe, I would say they're going to just ride and try to settle up between themselves, but as soon as I say that, David Lorfano is going to look on the outside of Greg Wood coming out of 4.
Yeah, he looked to the outside. I expect him to make a move to the top here, try to get by him. He just doesn't have the run. It's something about Greg Wood's car that nobody can get around.
We've got another guess to the trivia question of Kurt Busch in 2016. So far I've said Logano in 2017. We got Kurt Busch in 2016. So just gonna have to see who's right. So these guys, what a heck of a run here. Let's sort of go back through the field as these guys are racing each other. Let's sort of go through the field, Joseph, and sort of take a look at as soon as I say that, David Lorfano looks to the inside of Greg Wood. But let's take a look back through the field and sort of see. We've got Nathan Estep running in third, John Mcintyre in fourth, Zachary Cleek keep staying up there in fifth, and looking there coming up to sixth is Chris Pendell, seventh, sort of one of our league drivers that's had some bad luck this year. Steve Rada, he's up there having a good run tonight. We've got the number 7 of Josh Anderson. 96, Josh Pontbriand. He's making that team Pontbriand, putting them in a good place here as they run for Give Me Racing. So he's out there. Here comes Alfred Denny. Behind Alfred Denny is Stephen Harper in that 5 Coors Light machine.
12th, we got Sid Butler. 13th, we got James McCanney. 14th, Ron Morris. 15th, George Jewell. 16th, Nathan Luck. 17th, Bill Sleep. 18th, rounding out the lead lap, we will have David Mossbaugh. Let's go back up to the front because these guys are still up here battling as we've seen all night long.
And here they come. We've got about 27 laps to go here.
Yep, we got one more lap until the trivia question is closed and we will reveal the answer. So get your picks in right now. Try to see who you think it is. But yeah, it's really good, and I'm not saying one of y'all have it, but one of y'all might have it.
Here comes David Lorfano looking, sort of just keeping Greg Wood honest, sort of taking a peek to the inside as they come out of turn 2. Looks down, sort of gets a little, a little air on the nose of that Chevy. Falls right back in the line so he can stay in that slipstream, not to let Greg Wood get too far away. And these guys have pulled out almost a 2-second lead on third place, Nathan Neestep. So even racing side by side, they're pulling away from the field.
Yeah, they are. Let's go ahead and announce the winner. Mike, you got it right. It was Kurt Busch in 2016. Great answer. And he also has the record for the trucks and Xfinity's fastest lap here. We see Blake Henderson saying he likes Greg Wood, Nathan Eastep, and Alfred Denny. So shout out to those guys. Hope they do well, and we see Greg Wood up there right in the lead.
Absolutely, is David Lorfano just sort of settling back in, trying to keep some air on the nose of that Chevy, but also getting back up there in the slipstream to try not to let Greg Wood get too far away as we come down to about 25 laps to go this time by.
Now remember, we said you can make it about 40 laps on fuel, and it was 50 laps in the first stage. I think there was one guy who went down pit road and topped off on fuel and got a fast repair. It was the 66 of John Garrett.
But unfortunately, John Garrett is now showing 14 laps down.
Man, I did not realize that. So it looks like everybody's going to have to make a pit stop. It's just a matter of when. Is there anybody saving fuel?
I'm not sure. Definitely not these leaders because they're pulling away from the pack. They've got 2.4 seconds on the third place runner of Nathan Eastep as John Mcintyre looks to the inside of Nathan Eastep. I just think that these guys are sort of just trying to click these laps off, get to the end, and I'm really curious to see how this ends up as John Mcintyre gets around Nathan Eastep for third. Maybe they're just trying to see if somebody can pull him up there a little bit faster. They do that things like that at Daytona, Talladega. They'll switch places and get somebody else running in front of the other to try to catch the pack. So maybe that's what these guys are doing. Say, hey, I can't pull us up there. Let's see if you can pull us up there. So as these guys are just riding nose to tail and trying to track down these leaders. Let's see if they catch and knock any time off this next time around.
Well, we got somebody in chat saying, of course, Greg Wood, Nathan Eastep, and Alfred Denny are goated. But he also said Chris Pendell is in there. And he said Deep Racing is the best team of all time. Hendrick who?
Well, I guess, it'd be sort of nice if we could maybe they can get that Deep Racing and the Hendrick iRacing showdown. What do you think, Joseph? Think we can get that worked out? I'll let you work on that.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. As these laps are clicking off here, we're coming this time by. Will be 20 laps to go, and it looks like still, they're sort of leveled out. It's about 2.7 seconds back to third place John Mcintyre. So I think these guys are just trying to click these laps off. We're getting ready to come up on some lap traffic here.
We got 20 laps to go. We still haven't seen any pitters. If we don't see any pitters now, maybe they're trying to stretch it as far as they can and hope for a caution. As we've seen in the past couple races, that there tends to be a couple cautions at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you said, um, we did have that caution there, as you said, the synchronized spinning down the front stretch. So maybe those guys were shutting it off and trying to save some fuel as the leaders were passing Nolan Pontbriand there. Uh, Nolan Pontbriand's still out there. I think that takes a lot. When you're this many laps down and you're out there, at least you're finishing, you're making laps. I think that's important, even with a bad car. With the car that's been wrecked, he's out there. He's still competing. He's being respectful. He's pulling out of the way. I think that goes a long way to earn respect from these drivers in this league. And so, big props to Nolan on that. So, that young kid, he's going to get him one. As we see here, we've got a battle for third place as Nathan Estep looking on the inside of John Mcintyre.
Nathan Estep on the bottom. On the outside is John Mcintyre. They are side by side heading into the backstretch. The Nellis back straightaway, that is. They are side by side, almost tagging the wall is the two of John Mcintyre all the way up on that top lane. All the way on the bottom is Nathan Estep. Nathan Estep trying to make it work. He's almost running what you would call the Harvick line at Atlanta. John McIntyre. John McIntyre pulls back on the bottom. John McIntyre just pulled a crossover there as the 55 tried pulling a slide job. Wasn't quite as big of a slide job as we saw at Chicagoland in 2018. The infamous slide job. But it definitely was close. Nathan Estep's going to try and do the same thing. Nathan Estep tries to do the same thing again, and it looks like he clears them. 15 laps to go now. Still no pitters. We'll see. Will they start coming down pit road soon, or are they good on fuel?
Now, I just want to point out while we're watching this battle for third place, Greg Wood has pulled out 1.2 seconds on David Lorfano, so this is our closest battle on the track right now. We got another 2 seconds back to Alfred Denny in 5th, and then another second back to Zachary Cleek in 6th. Then you have Zachary Cleek and Chris Pendell. Looks like Chris Pendell has made the move there, so he has moved up to 6th place now. Josh Anderson moved up to 7th. Zachary Cleek back to 8th there.
Yeah, these guys definitely been able to put on a show tonight. It's really been a very entertaining race. I hope to see this continue into next week and the rest of the weeks throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I think these guys are starting to get used to some things. We go to a completely different track next week as we head to the flat track at New Hampshire. Very short track style racing. So, we'll do that. And then that next week, we head to Indy for the All-Star Indy 200. So, definitely different style tracks here coming up. We go from the high banks here at Las Vegas to a flat 1 mile track at New Hampshire, the Magic Mile. And then we go on March 18th. We'll head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it will be the oval for that race. Not the will not be the road course. It will be the oval for this league's All-Star race coming up on March 18th. So be sure to join us the next couple of weeks. We got some great racing coming up, and as always, these guys are certainly going to put on a show for us. So I'm looking forward to that. As we're really counting the laps down here, we're coming, I believe, to 10 to go next time by.
We are, and it looks like the 7 of Josh Anderson is passing our points leader of Chris Pendell. Not had the greatest race. He hasn't really struggled this race, but ever since he got that damage, hasn't really been able to be up front like he was earlier in the race. Greg Wood definitely starting to pull away. David Lorfano 2nd, 3rd, Nathan Estep 4th. We got Alfred Denny 5th, John McIntyre 6th, Josh Anderson 7th, Josh Pontbriand 8th, Christopher Pendell. 9th, Zachary Cleek, and 10th, Sid Butler. We go back up to the lead. I almost expect these guys to be able to make it to the end, as we haven't seen anybody pit. If they can't make it to the end, this could be a fuel mileage race, and we could see people running out of fuel on the final lap.
Is that what is happening, Joseph? These guys are, David Lorfano's backing off a little bit, trying to save a little bit. He was running right up there with him, but now he sort of backed his pace off a little bit. He's fallen about a 1.3 seconds. He's sort of holding that steady. And most of these guys, you've got, third and fourth, Alfred Denny has caught Nathan Estep and has passed Nathan Estep. So was Alfred Denny one that pitted on that last pit stop and topped off? That could be, he's coming to the front. He's certainly not saving here, and he's really starting to catch these guys up front.
Yeah, nobody topped off on that last pit stop other than John Garrett, but he ended up getting having some bad luck and ended up just quitting out. But we'll see. Alfred Denny just passed Nathan Estep. He is coming to the front now, as he's running about 0.2 of a lap quicker than our leader, Greg Wood.
Does he have enough time, though? Short of running out of fuel. Now, I will say this. David Lorfano is starting to pick the pace up a little bit, and he is catching Greg Wood in the 78. He's knocked 0.3 of a second off of that lead. He's down to 0.97. It was at 1.3. He's now down to 0.776. So David Lorfano is starting to cut into that lead of Greg Wood. I think we're really starting to get to that point where it's put up or shut up time, and these guys are really starting to turn off some laps. I think they've probably backed off, try to save a little fuel, and now we're coming down here to 5 laps to go. What's going to happen?
Well, we saw Alfred Denny run 0.6 of a second faster than our leader the last lap. He just ran an even lap with him that time, but he's closing in on David Lorfano. If he can get around Lorfano easily, will he have a chance at getting up to Greg Wood, as he is the fastest car on track right now?
I think only time will tell. We're getting down. It's not that big of a distance. We got 4 laps to go now, as Alfred Denny will pass David Lorfano for second. Alfred Denny is coming. But, does Greg Wood have enough fuel in that tank to make it the rest of the way?
Well, if Greg Wood can't make it, I don't think any of these other guys can make it, but we'll just have to see. And we're starting to see Alfred Denny close into this gap, but I don't know. It's 1.3 seconds and 3 laps, so
We're coming to 3 laps to go. Our leader is Greg Wood in that 78 Toyota Camry. We got Alfred Denny here in second. 1.3 seconds back that time by. David Lorfano's falling back to 2.2 seconds. So I think he's trying to pedal it to try to get there to finish this race out. So here we come to 2 laps to go. Does Greg Wood have enough fuel in the tank to make it? We'll find out in another couple laps.
there is 2 laps to go. Coming out of turn 2, Greg Wood has led the majority of the laps this race. Alfred Denny close and fast. I don't think he can make it, as he's down to a second now, but a second's a lot for 2 laps. Nolan Pontbriand is off the track right now. Something just happened. White flag is out. Greg Wood, if he can make it, he'll win the race. If he cannot, then we'll have to see.
I think if you listen, Joseph, you can hear Greg Wood. He's clutching it going into the corners. So he's doing everything he can to try to make it last. And I think it's all she wrote now. I think here comes Greg Wood out of turn 4, and he will win the Sin City 200 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Alfred Denny will be second. Yeah, looks like David Lorfano did make it. I see him coming off a pit road there. It's unfortunate for him. He will, looks like he fell back to 6th place there, 8th place.
Looks like he'll end up finishing 10th here. Let's go ahead and try to pull in our 3rd place finisher, Nathan Eastep, and see how he liked his car and see how his race ended up turning out for him.
Let me see if I can grab him from his team here. Hey, Nathan Eastep, this is Damon and Joseph in the booth, bud. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man, another exciting race here this weekend. You guys really put on quite a show out there. Like people were starting to really pedal it there at the end, trying to make it on fuel. What was your strategy there in that last stage?
Exactly that. Just trying to save fuel to make it to the end there. Definitely was a fun race, though. Kind of had some up and downs there. I lost like my screen there in the beginning of the race. Like it just went completely black, and I took somebody out. I don't know who it was. I completely apologize, but I could not see anything down the entire front stretch. And once my screen came back, I was just in the wall with somebody. So definitely my fault. Not sure what happened there, but definitely sucks.
Those things unfortunately happen. It must have been when you and Jonathan got into it there, but I think he was able to. He had some other issues later in the race, but I think they were working on getting those guys back, and he was coming back to the field there. So things like that happen. But great run by the 55 Ford Mustang. Who you want to shout out this week, buddy?
Definitely my wife for letting me do this, and then we got Circle B Diecast, Plain View Sales, Old Timer Hack Company, Blackwater Suds. If you use promo code Deep Racing, that's all caps and no spaces on any of those websites. For the diecast sites, you get free shipping on $20 or more, and the other two, you get 10% off of every order.
Well, sweet. That's a great deal there, and thanks for shouting those deals out for the fans. And good run this week, Nathan, and have a good week, man.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for broadcasting tonight, guys.
Hey, man, you're welcome. Congratulations on a great run. I'll move you back with your team, bud.
All right, thank you.
That was Nathan Eastep, our 3rd place finisher tonight.
Let's see if we can get a hold of Alfred Denny here. I'm not seeing him in a voice channel.
I'm not seeing him either. I was just doing the same thing you were doing there. So let's go ahead and grab Speedy Gonzalez here and see if we can't bring our winner, Greg Wood, into here.
Hey Greg, what an amazing performance. You sat on pole, you won the 1st stage, you won the 2nd stage, and you ended up winning the race. We saw David Orfano have to pit for fuel there. Were you thinking at all about saving fuel, or did you know you were good to the end?
Oh, I was saving. I was 3/4 throttle maximum for the last probably 10 laps. I wanted to keep about a second gap between me and him. And as long as I kept that second gap, I was just backing off the throttle, backing my turns up. See, I ran out of fuel when I came around and to set the start-finish lines. I couldn't even do a victory burnout.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you certainly had that Pulse Graphics Toyota Camry looking mighty fine this evening, and it was an exciting race. Some people had some unfortunate happenings and things there toward the end of the 2nd stage, but you had a great run all night long. So anybody want to shout out?
First, I want to shout out to my lovely wife who puts up with me while I do this, yelling and screaming while she's right next to me. You guys for the broadcast, everybody at KMM, everybody on my team, Chris, Bill, and the rest of the guys. And that's pretty much it.
Well, I can certainly agree with you, because I think, as we all know, Greg, if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Exactly. Happy wife, happy life.
There you go. Happy wife, happy life. Well, man, congratulations again on the win tonight, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week at New Hampshire.
Alrighty, have a good one.
You too, man.
That was our winner, Greg Wood. Let's go ahead and put our 2nd place finisher, Alfred Denny, in here. He ended up joining the voice channel so we could bring him in here. Let's get a hold of him. Hey, Alfred, good run there. Good second place finish. Tell us if you were saving or not, because we saw you flying through the field when everybody else was having to save fuel.
I actually didn't have to save. I was right on the edge. I was hoping that I was gonna make it. I ran out coming across the backstretch after the checkered came out as well. So, but yeah, I was pedal to the metal and hoping for the best at that point.
Yeah, man, great run there. Great finish. I believe that's a season high for you. And is there anybody you'd like to shout out?
I got to shout out my wife for letting me do this, of course. My teammates in this league, as well as my deep racing teammates, Nate being one of them. He already thanked most of our sponsors. He did miss Grounds and Hounds Coffee. You can use deep racing promo code there as well for 10% off.
Well, excellent, man. You know, Alfred, great run tonight, and we look forward to seeing you guys at New Hampshire, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for broadcasting.
Thank you, man. That was Alfred Denny, our second place runner tonight. So, Joseph, let's run through the field here.
Yeah, first place, we saw our pole sitter both stage win, and our overall winner, Greg Wood, absolutely dominate the race. Second, we just talked to Alfred Denny. Didn't have to save fuel like anybody else. Nathan Eastup finished third. Fourth, John McIntyre. Fifth, Josh Pontbriand. Sixth, Josh Anderson. Seventh, Christopher Pendell. Eighth, Zachary Cleek. Ninth, Sid Butler. 10th, David Lorfano. He ran out of fuel coming to white flag. Had to come down and top off on fuel. 11th, we had Ron Morris. 12th, David Modespal. 13th, George Jewell. 14th, James McCanney. And 15th, Stephen Harper.
Coming home 16th is Bill Sleep in the 62. Coming home 17th, Steve Rodden in number 3. Nathan Luck in the 15th. Come home 18th. Kyle Harbin, after trouble early, will come back and finish 19th. James Santoyo in the 9 finishes 20th tonight. Todd Cleek in the 4, after having a good strong run early, will finish 21st. John Garrett, after battling with our leader for most of the second stage, with that some misfortune there late in the race, will come home 22nd. David Mayo will finish 23rd. Nolan Pontbriand will finish 24th. Jonathan Cogswell, running strong early, will finish 25th. Tyler Robinson will finish 26th. George Kovacic will finish 27th. Andrew Hurley, 28th. Kevin Gibney Jr. finishes 29th. Zachary Woods will finish 30th. And Angel Santiago will finish 31st tonight.
Yeah, what a great race tonight. We saw at Las Vegas. Lots of gambles on having to stay out on fuel. Alfred Denny said he didn't need to save fuel. It ended up paying off for him as he finished second. But so long for now. This was ESBN on YouTube, SRM on Facebook, and we'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Peace.